So challenge number 2 this afternoon in the heat. We had the girls head up to Lennox Headland. So we're at Lake Ainsworth Sport and Rec Centre at the moment. So they did about 2.5 k's on the beach, then another 1.5 k's up the hill towards the headland. On the first beach element, they had sandbags, which they had to carry, and then also do a sprint up the sand dune and then return back to the group 2 at a time, all the way for that 2.5 k's. Once they finished the beach, dumped the sandbags, ran up the hill, up to the headland, that 1.5 k spurt there. They hit some stairs, and then at the top they had to get some styrofoam boxes and bring them back to home base.
And immediately your thought is, I don't know if we're going to make it. I would say the challenge as a whole was harder, but it was probably a little bit easier because we're all doing it together. So that was really nice, you had that nice supportive vibe. Crazy thing is, as you keep going, it kind of almost seems easier and easier as you get a rhythm and as you start to feel the support of everyone. So that was a pretty cool thing. I don't know how far we travelled, but it was a long way.
An interesting element of this challenge was that for the first part there was no rules. We left it to the girls to set their tempo and what they thought was up to standard. We wanted to create an environment where they could dictate that and not us as coaches, really allowing them to lead themselves and take ownership over the challenge number 2 of the day.
So it must be over our heads at all times. Do not touch our heads. Once you get down the stairs, that's right. Just carry it.
On the way back, the girls did have to hold the boxes over their heads. But on the same token, they were able to manage that however they like, so they could hold it for 10 seconds or hold it for 2 minutes. That was up for them to hold it above their head and then call for help when they needed it.
Like everyone, here's a demonstration, here's how high I can hold my arms. Not much range. So we didn't think that was going to be the end of it, but I guess we did think it was downhill from there because we were at the halfway point, so that was a positive. But again, you pick up the boxes and until you get your rhythm, you just think we're not going to make it. And then that's when you're at the finish line.
Interesting scenario is when they got back, Romelda and Gretel were taking in turns to hold a box above their head, which they were doing with quite a bit of ease. It appeared with ease. And Richard and I looked at each other and they punched a hole in the box as everything fallen out. And then Gretel's come up to us and dropped the box off, and we're expecting to pick up an empty box. And we lifted it up, and it's still the 15 kilos it was when we left it at the top of the headland. So it was really impressive. The girls maintained their vibe all the way through to the end. It was really impressive from the girls this afternoon.
I think for me the most challenging part is the moment that you turn up to an exercise where there's the unknown. You see what the possibility could be, but you don't know exactly what is there, and you start to get a little bit of fear set in. They're probably the most difficult parts, but for us, once we've started, all of a sudden you see things start falling into place, and then it just gets a little bit easier. Although more physically demanding, but I guess the mindset gets easier.
Can we open the box?